Hello everyone and welcome. In this class, we're learning something we need to know whenever we read our comprehension passage, which is learning how to identify main ideas and supporting ideas. Now, I'm sure you'll be wondering, okay, what is main idea and supporting idea? Now, for someone to want to write or share an information, he or she must have something they want to share about, like they want you to know. And then not just telling you, okay, this is what I want you to know, or this is what I feel like telling you, or this is what I feel like sharing out to people. They are also the writer, supporting or giving out points to what he or she is about to explain. Now, for instance, if you are telling someone that education is better than farming, you have to give out points so that why is education better than farming. Now, your main idea is education is better than farming, right? Good. But you have to support the idea. That is what we'll be learning in this class. So whenever you are reading a comprehension passage, you know, okay, I want to search out, look out for the main thing the writer is talking about. And then, okay, then move on to the supporting facts. That is the extra details about what the writer is talking about. For example, like I said earlier, education is better than farming. Now, look at this. What is the main idea? When you are reading a comprehension passage, make sure you look out for the main thing the writer is talking about, the important message the writer is passing across to his or her readers. Now, what is the main idea? The main idea is the most important message the writer wants us to understand. Take for instance, you write a story, probably a narrative composition, or you're writing a story and you're writing about let's say dogs. Dogs are loyal animals. They protect their owners, play with children and the likes. Now, you are not just really talking about dogs, right? Very good. You are talking about loyalty. Very, very good. Dogs are also friendly. Probably you want to talk about the friendly side of dog. Now, you're not just talking about dog itself. The main thing you want to pass across to your readers is friendliness. You being friendly and kind to your fellow partner or your fellow classmate or your fellow friend. You being very kind and caring. So instead of you going straight to the point, you decided to use dog as an example or in terms of loyalty. Now, the main idea in that your story or your write-up is loyalty or friendliness. So main idea is the most important message the writer wants us to understand in a passage. So I'm going to write that down. This is the most important message the writer want us to understand. So main idea, this is the most important message the writer wants us to understand. Before you take a book and a pen to start writing, you must have something you want to share to your audience or to your readers. That is the main idea. So whenever you are reading a book, just have it in mind. Ask yourself, okay, what is this writer talking about generally? And one thing is that main idea appears most times at the beginning of the sentence. Most times you get to see the main idea. In fact, the main idea can be the first sentence in that paragraph. If you can get it, if you can get the first sentence in the paragraph, you've gotten the main idea. Most times the main idea might not start with the first sentence, but as you keep reading and you get to the last sentence of that paragraph or that composition or the comprehension, you can be able to comprehend that, oh, this is what the writer is talking about. So imagine the writer is talking about the importance of clean water. The writer is going to tell us why it's very important for us to take clean water and why it's not even good if you take bad water. and you get to see it in the comprehension. But the major thing is the writer is talking about the importance of taking clean water. That is the main idea. So now let's move on to the supporting idea. This topic is divided into two. You being able to identify the main idea, that is the important message the writer is passing across, and the supporting idea. Now, what is supporting idea? What is supporting idea? Supporting idea, this is the extra detail. This is the extra detail. This is the extra detail. Information, facts, examples added to support or prove the main idea. To support or prove the main idea. Now, there is no supporting idea if there is no main idea. There must be a supporting idea. So the main idea is like the head of the family. So the head of the family is father, right? Very good. While the supporting idea is like the children. So the children together with the father and the mother all together makes up the family. So in your comprehension passage or in your composition or any writing or story, it starts with the main idea, and then other examples about the main idea all together forms up the comprehension. So like I said earlier, the main idea give us extra detail. So if you are telling me, like the example I gave at the beginning of this class, I said if you're telling us that education is better than farming, then you have to tell us, give us points. Why should you say education is better than farming? Because for farming I get to eat, I get free food to eat and be satisfied. And the whole essence is you can't even get educated if you are like, you can't even be happy whenever you go to school if you are hungry. So food is very, very, very important. And not just food, we get other things in farming. We also get money in farming. So why should you tell me that education is better than farming? Me just going to the school to sit down and just look at my teacher. You must give me points why you said so. You must give me points to prove your main idea that education is better than farming. So when you start giving out points to prove what you have said, what those points are the supporting idea. You get to see that in composition like argumentative composition. Now, I want to take an example and we want to identify the main ideas and the supporting ideas. So let's say we have a very short passage. The internet is useful to us in modern life. The internet is useful to us in modern life. People get information. People get information, communicate with others, and then lastly, do business with it. Full stop. So these are our first passage, and then second passage, we are going to use this to identify the main ideas and the supporting ideas. In fact, the second passage, you will be doing it yourself. All right. Second passage, the school plays a vital role in the human society or in the human life. We get educated, learn to speak well, get educated, learn to speak well, and also acquire useful skills that help us that helps us in the society. All right, now look at this. So this is passage one and this is passage two. In this passage, we want to identify the main idea and the supporting ideas. I would love for you to, before we start identifying, I would love for you to pause the video and go through the passage again and just take a book and a pen, identify the main ideas and the supporting ideas before you check the main answer or the correct answer for this passage one and passage two. All right, now let's move on. For passage one, we have the internet is useful to us in modern life. People get information, communicate with others, do business with it. Now, if you look at this, it says the internet is useful to us in modern life. People get information, communicate with others, do business with it. Now, what is the main idea? What is the important message the writer is trying to pass across or want us to understand? Is the internet. It's talking about the usefulness of the internet. So the main idea is the usefulness of the internet or the internet itself. So the main idea is literally talking about the internet. Yes, for people to get information, communicate with others, do business with it is majorly going back to what? The beginning of the sentence that says the internet is useful to us in modern life. So the main idea is the internet is useful to us in modern life. Now, the writer has said it at the beginning of the sentence or at the beginning of the paragraph or the comprehension that the internet is useful to us in modern life. Now, the writer didn't stop there. The writer continued, started giving supporting ideas, giving facts and examples. And the writer said, people get information, communicate with others, do business with it. So the supporting ideas are people get information, communicate with others, do business with it. All right, now you get to see that the supporting ideas follows the main idea. All right, now let's move on to passage two. If you got that correct, please do well to give yourself a very round of applause. Now, let's move on to passage two. You can also pause the video, do yours, and check the correct answer. All right, now passage two. The school plays a vital role in the human life. We get educated, learn to speak well, and also acquire useful skills that help us in the society. I'll read that again. I believe some people are already getting the answers to this. The school plays a vital role in the human life. We get educated, learn to speak well, and also acquire useful skills that help us in the society. Now, the question is, what is the main idea? Very correct. The main idea is the school. The role of the school in the human's life, in a human life. The role of the school. And the school plays a very important role. So the main message the writer is trying to pass across to us is the vital role the school plays in our life. And the writer didn't just stop there, right? Very good. Now, what are the supporting ideas to the main ideas? Very correct. We get educated, learn to speak well, and also acquire useful skills that help us in the society. So these are the supporting ideas to the main idea. So whenever you are reading a comprehension passage, a composition, any write-up at all, make sure you are able to get the main idea First of all, the main idea. Most times, if you can't really get the main idea, you can probably get use the supporting ideas. Look at the supporting ideas or the facts, the examples. Okay, what are these examples? This example is related to what? So when you are able to answer that question, okay, these examples that the writer has given is related to this, then that is the main idea. So please do well whenever you are reading your comprehension passage. Do well to look out for this. It helps you in your in terms of you answering a comprehension question, the questions that follows the comprehension passage. This will surely help you. If you have a proper understanding of what you have read, meaning the main idea, you've been able to get the main idea and the supporting idea as we have done here, then you can be able to answer the comprehension question, the passage, the questions correctly. All right. In this class, we will be learning what's associated with school subject, which is under vocabulary development. So development is learning new words that can help you actually communicate better. Like you learning the words and using it in the right way and using it to make correct sentences. But today we will be learning words associated with school subjects. School subject is the different areas of study taught in school. I am sure you have your favorite subject you love very, 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 very much. Now, one thing is that for you to have a favorite subject or you're in school, you have been taught different subjects. One thing you should know is that the teachers taking the subject or yes, the different subject speak differently. That is, the words they use to explain that subject is different from the, let's say, the words the English tutor uses to explain English studies is different from the words used by a math tutor. Same thing goes to probably basic science, agri, computer studies. They use different words. Now, you cannot be in an English class or a math class, let's say a math class, and you get to hear the math tutor is talking about hardware and software. At that point, the moment you hear hardware and software, you're already like, okay, this is supposed to be a maths class and not a computer class. Why so? Because words like that is used for computer studies. Very good. Now, in this class, we will just run through few words that are associated with school subjects. So for maths, you hear words like addition, putting numbers together, subtraction, taking away numbers, fraction, a part of a whole. So majorly there are so many words that are attached to mathematics that so whenever you're explaining something in a math class, you know the kind of words you use to explain what you are trying to tell your probably your friends or your teacher and so on. So let's move on to English studies. For English study, we have words like now, we have grammar, we have composition, we have vocabulary, we have oral English, we have vowels, we have consonants, we have literature. So whenever you use words like this to pass an information across or explain something, we know, okay, these are words that are associated with English study. So we just know that, okay, we are presently in an English class, just like right now. All right, then we have basic science. We have words like energy, matter, force, and so on. Energy, the power to do work. Matter, anything that has weight and takes up space. Force, a push or pull that moves something. So whenever we use words like this, these are words that are associated to basic science. We have social studies. Social studies is subject to. Under social studies, we have culture, the way of life of the people. We have government, the system of ruling. We have family, people related by blood. And lastly, the last subject we have here, we have other subject though. The last subject we have here is agricultural science. For agricultural science, we have soil, the ground where crop grow. We have livestock, comprised of farm animals. We have farm, a location for planting crops. We have computer study, where the words associated to computer study, which is a school subject. You get to see hardware, software, mouse, internet, and so on. So this will surely help you whenever you are writing. Especially probably you're writing a composition or you're writing about something, you have to know the words that are associated. Probably you want to write about your best, yes, you want to write about your favorite subject. You have to know the words that are associated to that subject so that you can be able to explain properly. So do well to take out time to learn more of these words associated to the school subject, the subject taught in school.